Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mary Ellen from Create With Me, and I'm here in the Creativity Nest. It's time for Teach Me Tuesday. So today is Tuesday, July 25th. And of course, as soon as I start the video, then I get a truck backing up in my driveway. So sorry about that. So anyway, I have been really excited about using the stamp set Circle Sayings. I've been using it a lot. I mean, I've used all the designs. I mean, everyone is like really one of my favorites. So I'm going to take you down to my desk and I'm going to show you the stamp set and the punch that coordinates with it. It's not a bundle, it's just a single stamp set. And then there's a punch that you could get to coordinate with it. Let me take you down to my desk and I'll show you the stamp set. So here's the stamp set. It's called Circle Sayings. Do you have it? Chime in and let me know if you have it and you've used it. But I really love the sayings in here. I like the font. And then all these different images. Of course, today we're going to use the cupcake in the celebrate because I really love that. So I want to show you a fun card that my friend Amy shared with me, and I just changed it up a little bit because I did it with her in colors, and now I want to share it with some different colors. So the punch that you're going to use for this is 2 3/8 inch, and that is a punch that we carry right now. It's a circle punch, and I love that we're using a punch. So what you're going to need to create this card is this is the card that we did with my club this last week, and I'm going to share it with you. And these are the pieces that they got. So they got an envelope, and then the card base is this new beautiful bubble bath cardstock. It's really one of my favorites. I've been waiting really for a pink that's like this. We've had kind of a bubblegum pink and we've had other pinks, but to me, this is a really true baby pink, right? For a little baby girl, but we're going to do it for a birthday card for a female. So you'll need a piece for the inside of your card, a piece of designer series paper for the front of your card. And what we have here is paper from the Delightfully Eclectic bundle of designer series paper. So when I say bundle, it's really big pack. I don't even know if you get 48 sheets. It's really huge, and it's delightfully eclectic. So it's got different papers that coordinate with different stamp sets in the catalog, and then it's got some really pretty designs in it. And so we're going to use this design here. The back of it is got cute little strawberries, so this one would be cute too. And then for our envelope, and yes, I'm going to show you how to dress up your envelope. A piece of 2 by 6. You need 2 by 6. Remember this because you're going to want to do all your envelopes like this. This is something I share with Club, and they loved it. Super simple. Always when you're cutting your designer series paper for your card, cut you a piece of 2 by 6 designer series paper, and this is the one that has a little floral on the back, so you could use either one. I'm going to use the stripe, and then you need a strip of 4 by whatever width you want. This is going to go and decorate our inside. Scrap to a couple scraps that we're going to stamp on. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to fold our card base in half, and if you have questions along the way, please go ahead and chime in and put them in the comments, or just let me know if you've got the stamp set, if you've been enjoying the Circle Sayings, if it's one that you just purchased during the stamp sale. That's another fantastic thing. Oh, am I missing a piece of cardstock? Wait, hold on just a minute. You know, so many times when you're doing a video, you like think you're completely prepared. And, oh, no, this is it. This is the piece that I need. Is this a piece? No, this is not the piece. So just bear with me a second. I'm going to see if I've got something on my desk that'll work. I think I do. I have a piece right here. So what you're going to need is just a piece of cardstock. I'm going to do one that is 3 inches by 4 inches. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So you think you got your act together is what I'm trying to say. And sometimes you looked at all your pieces and you think, yes, I have everything. And then you realize, yeah, no, not so much. So what this piece is this is going to go on. It's going to sound really funny, but what you're going to do is you're going to take your designer series paper, and this is going to be on the front of your card. We want this piece of basic white to be down in this corner. Okay, so it's going to be mounted just so that it lines up with the designer series paper, just like that. So I can go ahead and mount that. And I find it always funny. Did you see what I did there? I flipped my basic white over, like this side was different than the front. It's the same. So I'm going to put this down in my lower right hand corner, equally spaced, so that when my designer series paper goes on it, you won't see the white, but it's got to line up right here on the edge. So now I'm going to take my designer series paper and my 2 3/8 and punch, and I'm going to punch a circle in my paper. But I want it to be about, I want about 1/4 of an inch over here on my left side, and I want just, let me get it, and then I'll show you the camera. I want just a little smidge showing, just the hairline. Let me move my finger out of the way. See that? Here, I'll turn it this way. Just the hairline amount, so it's flat, so your circle's flat on one side. And what that's going to do is it's going to create a little space like this. So it's the illusion of the circle not being whole. I mean, it's not whole, but anyway, we're going to put it on here, but we're not going to mount it. So I'm using the bubble bath, but I'm also using Moody Mauve because I want it to be in the pink family, right? So I'm going to bring out the stamp set that says celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. And I'm going to mount it on my block with the word celebrate right at the top. It's easier if I have it mounted square. And I am going to ink up my stamp. My pad is very juicy. And I'm going to hold down this designer series paper right where I want it. And then I'm going to center this. I've got lots and lots of room. So I'm going to center it with the celebrate going up. So see, I've got lots of room. I'm not going to worry about stamping on my designer series paper. Okay, so now we can set that aside. We're going to bring in our pieces to stamp our cupcake, and we're going to bring in some Memento ink. We're doing a little paper piecing on the liner, so I'm just going to stamp the cupcake liner onto my scrap of designer series paper, and this is the Moody Mauve little hearts. And then I'm going to stamp my cupcake onto just a scrap of basic white. Now we're going to do a little coloring, and then we will cut it out with some snips. So I'm going to bring in my blends, and I've got 3 blends. I've got the bubble bath in light and dark, and then I've got a little bit of yellow because my cake is going to be yellow. This very lowest layer that's right above the cupcake liner is my actual cupcake. And I'm going to make this be a yellow cupcake. And then I'm going to color my frosting in pink or strawberry. I think that would be strawberry. Okay, I'm going to do it with the light bubble bath, and then I'm going to come in with the dark bubble bath and hit my highlights, the ones that are already on my image from Stampin' Up! Artists, so I don't have to think about it. I want to kind of accentuate the edges and come a little bit down here. And then I'm going to come back with my light, and I'm going to do some blending. That will give me a kind of a 3D effect, keeping that center kind of light. And then we can go ahead and cut it out with the snips, okay? So chime in, let me know you're watching. Or let me know if you have the circle saying stamp set, if you've used it, if you love it as much as I do. Why I cut out my little cupcake. Okay. Pretty easy to cut that out. Now we'll cut out the cupcake liner. I'll say about the hardest thing with the cupcake liner is you just have to cut your zigzag, but you're moving your paper, not your scissors. Just a little zigzag, zigzag. Okay. And then I'm going to glue that with some liquid adhesive onto my image here. So that's just a little bit of paper piecing. It's just a way to give my cupcake liner some fun little hearts. So we're going to go ahead and put dimensionals on this piece right here. Then we're going to bring in some twine. So I'm using the Moody Mauve twine, and I'm going to cut a piece that's about 12 or 13 inches long. This twine is kind of thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and unravel. As you can see, it's got 3 strands. So I'm going to pull this one strand, and what I'm doing is I'm kind of unraveling at the same time. With my left hand, I'm spiraling it. That makes it go a little bit easier. You want to be careful. You don't want to rip it because it will rip. See how that makes that come out super easy. Get to the end. We're going to go back and unwind. Okay, so now it's going to curl up on me, and I just have to straighten it out. And you could use 1 or you could use 2 together. I'm going to separate these 2. Once you have the 1 separated off, then the other 2 come apart. It's fairly easy. These are going to curl up. I'm going to straighten them out. I have to straighten them out. Okay, and I want to just use, I'm going to use 2 strands on mine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 strands together. I'm going to set that aside for another card. Okay, and then I'm going to bring my designer series paper in here, and I'm going to tie a bow right here in my circle before I mount it to my card. I'm going to go ahead and make a bow just like this. Whoops. Could double knot it, makes it a little bit easier. Then fuss your bow until you like it. I like the extra curly, so I'm not even going to trim it. I'm going to leave it just like that, but I got some hairs and stuff. So now I want to pop this up. So I'm going to bring my dimensional in. See, I got that. It's tickling my nose. And I want quite a bit of dimensionals around this circle as some stability. And then the corners. This is like a lot. I know it's a lot. For me, I don't usually use dimensionals that many. But when you're using designer series paper, I recommend that you go a little bit heavier on the dimensionals because you need the stability because the designer series paper isn't as thick as cardstock. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mount this, lining up my paper that I've already got on, and it covers it completely. And then I'm going to bring in my cupcake. I'm going to do one more thing to my cupcake. I'm going to put it right there. And since it's a celebration for a happy birthday, I'm going to add Wink of Stella. This is really hard to see on camera, but I wanted you to know that I do add the Wink of Stella. And Wink of Stella is a little glitter brush, and so it adds a little bit of glimmer. Okay. I don't know that you can necessarily see that. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my Take Your Pick tool. And these are the In Color gems. And I just happen to have 3 left of the Moody Mauve. So I'm going to pick those up, or doing the slide and stick method. You could put them wherever you want. I'm going to put them just like that, the 3 just like that. Whoops, I lost the blue one. Put it back on there. Okay, and then we're going to finish up our inside. I'm going to stamp the word Happy Birthday. This is also from the stamp set, Circle Sayings. And then I'm going to mount this inside my card, and then I'm going to show you how I do the envelope. Okay, and I learned the whole idea from, like I said, from my friend Amy Combs. She's out in California. Okay, so there's the card, super, super cute. Here's the one I did with Amy. This one is in the In Color. This was Pebble Path. So you can see the difference just using the dark color, and then here's the really bright. They both have Winkestella. Here I put the gems on my cupcake, and here I put them around the outside. Now it's time, oops, I know I forgot to put my little strip of paper inside. So Amy always cuts a little strip of paper and decorates down at the bottom to coordinate the outside of her card to the inside. And I think that's a really great idea, and I wanted to share it with you. I think we did it here with the dots. So there's that. Now the envelope, what you're going to do is you're going to put some adhesive. I want the stripe side. So I'm putting adhesive on both sides and then down the middle. I'm going to lay it on my envelope, and I'm going to lay it right here on this fold, okay? Extending the little bit over the edge. You're going to see I have a little bit of a edge here. I'm going to bring in my trimmer. And we're going to do a little bit of trimming. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this down to the bottom, and I'm going to trim off that white off my envelope. So I'm going to get rid of that. Then I'm going to turn it over, and I want to go from this corner here, and I'm just taking off this rolled edge right there. Okay, so I'm going to lay it in my track, and I'm just taking off the edge and squaring it up. And you see I still have a lot of adhesive, so when I go to seal the envelope, that's not going to be an issue. And then here I'm going to run it in the track, take that off. This is a great idea. Amy was saying this is a great idea for masculine cards because it's all squared up, but it's really, really pretty for any card. So this is also from the Delightfully Eclectic. I see I have a little bit. I didn't get all that white off, so I'm going to go back and just trim that. You know, as a creator, sometimes those little things bother us. All right, so I'm going to take that off just like that. And then here's our card with our coordinating envelope. We could stamp on the front if we want, but here's a card using circle sayings, and then I'll bring in the one with the pebble path so you can see both. Okay, let's move this out of the way so it's not distracting in case you want to take a screenshot. There is the cards using bubble bath, and then the pebble path. So I hope you learned something new. Either it's popping up and making this kind of shadow box effect, or even undoing your twine so that it's a little more frayed and not so thick. I like the delicateness of this, and that's the way I've been using it now all the time. So you guys have a great week, and I am going to maybe be here on Friday. I've got some special guests coming in to the nest. We have Emmy's 3Cs, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to go live, but stay tuned. I'll let you know one way or the other. So you guys have a great day. Bye, everybody.